Now we're back. I don't know if you like that or not. Is that a good thing for you or not? But for me, it's a great thing. So congratulations. We can now go back to restaurants, although only 50% of capacity. But I think it's a good thing. I don't really think the lockdown is what we're supposed to be doing. It's a very low death rate anyway. Again, some people would say now I'm downplaying COVID, but let's just stick to what is very obvious. There's a lot of cases, but there's very little death rate. So I don't think this is something that we should be making a lot of changes in terms of our lifestyle or anything like that. One thing I have to say about that though is that the president keeps on giving these things every 2 weeks, which I think is a bad way to plan things because as like a business person, you need to have a little bit of certainty, like if you're gonna open a business or not. You need to know at least what's gonna happen in the near future, maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months. Especially when you're renting out a place, there's usually a 1 year, uh, 1 year lockdown, something like that, or what do you call that? Yeah, you have to rent a place for a year, a contract, sometimes 2 years, and so if you're gonna give us like in 2 weeks, we can have like a GCQ, then how can you plan for something like that? Because if it's only 2 weeks, then it might as well just stay stagnant because we don't really know what's gonna happen next. Uh, Especially with the cases going up, we can't really predict every single time. Like, okay, it's going up right now, then maybe it's gonna be uh, MECQ next. So it's gonna be a terrible thing for everybody that's involved, especially on business because it's really hard to plan that way. So Duterte really is fucking this up. I don't even know if it's Duterte or someone who's I don't know, like Duque. I don't know who's calling the shots here, but it's a terrible idea to give the Filipinos like 2 weeks in advance to plan on things, and then there's a lot of uncertainty after that 2 weeks. I don't think that's a good thing. That way of dealing with things will eventually kill the I don't know, the currency, Philippine currency. It will kill our economy for sure. Uh, I've posted on my Facebook about TikTok. There's this thing where no, the girls are dancing to a song, a particular song. I think it's "High All the Time" by Tovlo, and then after like before the beat drop, the girls will flash the audience, and then shake their boobies, shake their tits, uh, until the bass drop or the beat drop. What do you call it? And so I think it's disgusting because I mean, okay, if I have a girl, like I have a daughter, something like that, and if she's gonna do that on social media, I'd be furious. I don't know if it's allowed, but I might give my daughter a beat down. A lot of punishment, ground. I'll remove the phone in her life, something like that. So this is not something that I approve of. But then again, I see myself watching those videos again and again. It's kind of hypocritical in some sense, but it's I don't know. There's something about shaking tits, I guess, that men. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not exempting other people, other guys, but I think I'm not alone here. I could say though, I did not masturbate on those videos. I did, however, went to Pornhub, or it was kind of like a portal to Pornhub, and then jerked off on on proper porn. Not on those TikTok videos, but this is something that's terribly crazy. Some people would say, actually, some people said that all those girls are transsexuals. All those girls who are shaking their tits on video are transsexuals. I would say some of those are trans, but some are actual females. And they said girls will not do something like that. I would beg to differ because I think nowadays, especially the younger generation, they would do anything. They would stop at nothing to be famous. And shaking their tits with, granted, there's like a tape, there's an X tape on the nipple area, so it was not full on displayed. But I think those girls, the younger generation, would do anything to be famous, and not just girls. I mean, have you seen that video where they're licking the toilet seats? That challenge, the COVID-19, what do you call that? The coronavirus challenge. They're licking the toilet seats, for like views. So I don't think the shaking of the tits is the worst thing that people will do online in order to be famous, and this is very concerning. Uh, but the point being is, even though it's a bad thing, sometimes it's just hard not to look at it. I couldn't look away. It's tough. But yeah, so I guess I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, let's move on. Another thing that I posted actually on my Facebook is the fear marketing, which is very common, especially with the insurance agents. And I did kind of hint that that's one of the reasons why a lot of us are fearing for every news, or like we fear a lot of things. It's because it's just right in front of us. It's people are just slapping all these fear marketing in front of our faces that it's really unavoidable. And sometimes those fear marketing are very convincing. You'll be very scared of what's gonna happen next, or they're gonna take out the whole article and copy paste a highlight of it that makes you fearful. Then what happens is you become paranoid, or you fear for what's gonna happen next. And maybe that's the reason why we're now locked out. We're on a lockdown. We can't go out because a lot of people are paranoid. And granted, it's a great way for a lot of people to sell stuff, because if people are scared, that's, as a lot of people who commented said, it's a great way, or it's a good motivation for people to take action. Fear, that's one. And so, will I be able to, uh, hate them for doing something like that, or will I be able to just be annoyed for something like that? Maybe not, because quite honestly, I could do something like that as well. Because especially if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to make a living, then I guess it's unavoidable. But maybe we should tone it down a little bit, because it's kind of affecting everybody else. It's not a good thing to be fearful of every single thing that's coming out, and that's clouding our judgment. And I don't think we should base our decisions on fears, and that's something that I would not want to keep on doing in some sense. The last one that I'd like to talk about is Roque. Yeah, and maybe this is not really Roque. It's more of the Philippines in general, or whoever is out there, or whoever is at the top. It could be Duterte. It could be Duterte that's spewing things on Roque's ears for him to say things. But let's just be honest. All the things that's coming out from the speaker of the house, from Malacanang Palace, is just, as I've said on the title, it's just it could have been worse. Yeah, that's basically what they're trying to say. You know, everything's shit right now, but it could have been worse. Uh, we we uh, we could have had 50,000 cases back then, but we're at 43,000, and so we should be grateful, Philippines. It could have been worse. And recently, they're saying uh, it's good that we did not have 100% no jobs. A lot of people still have jobs. We're at like 45%. We should celebrate that because it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. This is not something that we should be tolerating. And again, with that statement, one of my problem is, so they were saying that it could have been 100%. They're saying it's a good thing that we did not reach 100% zero jobs. So they were actually expecting for the jobs to be at zero because of the COVID, because of the lockdown that they're doing, and they're surprised that it did not go to 100%. That's crazy. This is not something that we should be tolerating, and this is not how we should be living. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I hate it. First of all, because it seems like they don't have any plans whatsoever. It seems like they just put all these rules, put all these measures without thinking or without measuring all the stats, what is going to happen. What are the repercussions of these kinds of measures, the lockdowns and all that stuff, or even the vaccines. Recently, I heard that they're thinking about doing vaccines in like getting vaccines from China and also from Russia, and they said it's not gonna be cheap. They said they're gonna make money, or like they have to acquire money in order to buy all these vaccines. Again, we're talking about money, and if you're not gonna be sure on these things, then please stop wasting the Filipinos' money, because this is not something that is easily taken back, especially with all the trillions that we are in debt to China, and I don't know whoever country is giving us money during the lockdown, but we just have so much loss in terms of financial, and if we're gonna keep on spending money on things that we don't have any idea on where it's gonna go, or is like the vaccine 100% sure, then please let's be sure first. Let's do our study. Let's do our research before we actually pay for something, because what we're actually using is not our own money. It is it is borrowed money, and at the end of the day, who's gonna suffer? It's the taxpayers. It's the Filipino people. It's not really the government officials, because all they're doing is actually just steal money from what they're trying to buy with the Filipinos' money. So, like a great example is the PhilHealth. They're paying for computers 100%, like 100 times more, 50 times more the price. This is crazy, and so I am very wary of them telling us, "Oh, hey, we need more money to pay for vaccines." I think it's just another ploy for them to steal more money from us. I don't necessarily think it's Duterte. It could be Duterte, but there's a lot of people like under him who are benefiting from all these purchases, and I am scared that we're just one day gonna be a colony of China, because we have so many debt that in order to pay all those debt, we have to surrender our land, and the more these the more corruption happens, the more likely that's gonna be the case for our beloved country. Sorry to say, but it's uh, it's the likely scenario if you look at things right now. That's such a downer, but that's my honest opinion. Hopefully, you I don't know. Do you learn something from that? Hopefully, our government do something, or they try to steal less money from us, because I think at this point we're just praying and hoping that, because them stealing our money is almost unavoidable. It's almost like a given already, that we're just hoping and praying that they steal just a little bit, that we don't lose everything to corruption. I think that's I think that's a realistic hope at this point. It's not a very good one, as Roque always say. It could have been worse, you know. And I think for us, the Filipino people, could it be any worse than this? I think we're at the absolute low, but I think we can. Can we? It's hard, man. It's hard. I'm gonna leave it at that. I do not want to keep saying more negative stuff. By the way, NBA is back. NBA playoffs is back. I'm gonna discuss that maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is Lakers versus Blazers, which I am looking forward to. I hope it's not an upset. Earlier, Dallas almost had an upset with the Clippers, but the referees had a different idea. They ejected Kristaps Porzingis, which was a very, I don't know, ticky-tack ejection. So, yeah, I hope that does not happen again. I hope Luka reaches the finals. Although I do want to watch Clippers and the Lakers in a Western Conference matchup. But let's just see what happens. Not a lot of upsets today. Maybe tomorrow there will be. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's episode 46. Again, my name is Miguel. I'll see you on the